Hi guys, I'm Shmi and today I'm visiting Mountune where it is time to kickstart the upgrade path of my Ford Focus RS. So I've done around 7,000 miles in the car, I'm using it an awful lot, and recently I kind of floated the idea that it might be about time to do some upgrades, some modifications to the little beastie all-wheel drive hatchback. Well, this is my first stop. We're going to be doing the FPM 375 package, so the Ford Performance by Mountune package that's going to take power from 350 horsepower up to 375, and it's going to take torque from 470 up to 510. Now the reason I'm doing that here with Mountune is because it's the Ford Performance by Mountune package. It is actually fully warrantied by Ford. So Mountune do a lot of work developing things with Ford themselves, and this is one of them. So this is the perfect place to start doing these upgrades. It's a new air intake, some software mapping of course. We're going to have a look inside. I'm also going to take out the Mountune M380, their sort of top developed car that they've got at the moment, for a little test drive afterwards. But I think first thing, we've got to get the car inside, we'll take a little look around, and then it's time to bump the power up and see how this goes. Into the workshop it goes. The car is in place, and here we have all of the components that are going to go into it at this stage. So you can see the air intake, of course, we've got the filter, we've got a couple of other little bits and bobs that are all part of that. If I quickly open up the booklet here, this is basically the kit that we're installing, so you can see the sort of performance gains, 0 to 62 down from 4.7 to 4.5, and the Newton meters and PS figures I quoted you earlier. It's also going to have, if I just flick through here, the sound suppression chamber installed, which just helps with the whistling noise that you get inside the Focus RS, and then you get the custom owner's supplement with my sort of info and reference guides, reference numbers in there as well. Also, right here, the all-new Ford Performance by Mountune badge. So that's actually coming in a couple of weeks, available for existing customers and new customers. That's going to be going onto the little Mark III Focus RS. A couple of components removed to make access easier, of course. This has the 2.3 litre ecoBoost. I like to call it the ecoBeast. New filter in. So in goes the new intake. With the car up in the air, there are a couple of components to be squeezed in here. The turbo reset valve and the sound suppression chamber both go in there. The sound suppression chamber gets installed somewhere up there. Quite awkward to see. Good progress so far. Most of the components are already in, so the car's up in the air. It's got to come back down for the final sort of software side of things. It's quite nice to see the underside actually. You can see that I've got the winter tyres on the car. Perfect for this kind of weather. But everything's rather awkward to get at, obviously inside the engine bay, but without having to dismantle everything. Obviously keeping warranty intact and all of that side of things. And touchdown. The car's updates are being done. This is all using sort of standard Ford equipment, so it gets the latest software and the FPM 375. The symbolic moment of the badge being installed. There we go. Ford Performance Mountune. All done, ready to bring the car outside. I'm looking forward to taking it now for a short little drive. Okay then, rolling out. So this is going to be quite interesting. I'm still driving in my Focus RS, but now my Focus RS with a little bit of a difference. So driving smoothly, obviously you would hope that there were no negative things going on, and there aren't. It seems to drive completely perfectly. I'm in normal. Obviously I need to put it in sport to really get a feel for the differences and the extra power. But let's just feel this. Oh, you can hear a lot more induction noise. A lot more induction noise. I don't know how much of that comes across on the camera, but as you squirt, you can feel or hear the induction coming through. So that's all driving pretty gently. taking it very easy, but obviously it is a 7,000 mile car, so you don't need to run in again or anything like that. But actually I'm amazed by how much of that induction noise you hear. Just needs an exhaust system to back it up now, and Mountune have a warranted system, so that could well be an option afterwards. So let me pop it into sport mode, where we'll get the pops and crackles back. Okay, you hear a lot more of that combined with the induction noise. Okay, the pickup, there is more pickup. There is immediately more pickup. You can properly feel that, more torque at the lower end of the revs. And just put the window down, because tunnel. Okay. I'm learning here, and it's weird because obviously I drove the car just before, taking in my different thoughts and sort of trying out pushing through different speed ranges. There's so much more of the induction noise. I wasn't necessarily expecting that. So let's spin around, go back down this rather nice little countryside road, and wow, that is fascinating. You can genuinely feel that it's faster immediately. You have the torque, it just comes in quicker, and you have more of that kind of like push back in the seat feel. And that is how you make a cool car even cooler, because I have been a big fan of this Focus RS. And I love driving it, and now I think I love driving it even more. But let's go this way and go exploring a little bit. Gotta love countryside roads. Who knows what we can find down here. Yeah, imagine this with an exhaust system on it as well. The way when you lift off as well, you get that sort of whoosh going on from the turbos. Whoosh, combined with that back crackle. What more could you want? Well, apart from an axle back exhaust system, of course. This is relatively amazing to me because 30 or 25 horsepower, 40 newton meters of torque doesn't initially sound, well, it isn't initially a very big number at all. So I wasn't sure how much I'd be able to feel it, how much I would know about it. And the short answer is you really do, there's no denying it. So this is definitely an upgrade worth doing. And let's just accelerate away here. That's good. That is very, very good. And can I time the blip? There we go. Right, let's head back in, have a little look around the workshop. Now that I'm back from my little drive then, I want to kind of rewind a little bit and let you know more about what Mountune is and where it all came from. So Mountune Racing has been running for 37 years. It's fair to say they've got a little bit of experience in building engines. For example, what we've got right here ready to go up to Autosport, the Subaru BTCC engine. And then we've also got the World Rallycross as well. And just look at how spectacular this thing is just to even see it. So obviously when they do something like the kit that we've just installed onto my car, that is fairly small in the grand scheme of things. All sorts of different parts of the workshop set up to work on these engines and build them to the top possible quality. I've also spotted this lurking away, a Mark I Ford Escort Alan Mann racing car. And this, well, it competes now in historic racing. It's been fully restored and it looks awesome in the red and gold. Those two colours go together so well. I think it kind of shows that the guys who are working here really, really are into their cars, into these kind of things, and this is quite special as well. And back in the workshop, it would be wrong not to lift up the covers on these, the Ford GT40s, and two of them lurking here. You kind of almost don't realise it, how special those are. They've just been sat next to where we've been working on the Focus RS. Okay, we'll have a glimpse at the second one as well, in red. These are special machines, the origins of the GT, of course. Very excited about my incoming new generation GT in not too long, but those are where it really all started, when Ford turned up at Le Mans in 1966 with GT40s and managed to completely dominate the podium. Here we have a couple of engine dynos, so some race engines being tested and prepared, of course, set up there in the third slot. But they can do all of this in-house, which is quite neat. Next up is the M380. We're going to hear it from a cold start first, which should be quite nice. Wow, that's quite loud. Fruity little RS. So this has the full package. You can see it's got the Mountune wheels on it. Saves a bit of weight over the standard wheels, as well as a little bit more power. Not bad. So then, the 380, this also has the axle back exhaust system, we've got the intercooler, basically a whole host of upgrades to get the extra power out of it. And I've let it warm up, obviously, before driving it. Similar kind of intake noise that we had in mind, but you feel even more like you're pushed into the back of the seat. Obviously, this is driving in normal mode. This exhaust system is controlled so that in normal you basically don't get any of the kind of antisocial cracks and pops and things. It's a little bit more civilized even than the standard car. If we put it in sport mode, it's basically set up so that you get more real kind of natural engine sounds from the intake like we now have on mine, but also the cracks aren't quite so computerized, aren't quite so artificial, which made them exactly the same basically every single time. So let's put it in sport and see how this sounds. Okay, a bit louder. All right. Okay, and then exactly as I said, they're not quite the same on repeat every time, which is quite nice. Woohoo! And if you lift off, if you give it a stab and then immediately lift off, you get that kind of, well, massive backfire. That'll do. It's like an addiction. You just want to squirt it. And just like give it a little squirt and quickly lift off so you get those crackles going off the back as well. I love the Focus RS and I love the 7,000 miles I've done in mine. And I'm loving driving this as well. Small little nerd fact, I really like having the Mountune logo built into the Ford Sync entertainment system the way you have it on the background of the screen. I think that is a wonderful touch. And this car, I mean, yes, it feels a little bit more than the 375 package. Of course, you've got the different exhaust system, the way it's set up. It was a lot louder on the outside, more so than obviously you hear it on the inside. So the hatchback, the exhausts are way back behind us. But I like how the sounds are more natural. It's more real-world engine noise rather than so much of the artificial stuff, even though the artificial stuff can be spectacularly fun. I noticed the car in front of me actually has its driver's door mirror folded in, which is probably not the most sensible. I wonder whether they're going to notice. But it turns a car that is fun immediately into even more fun. I mean, my car is more fun. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer really to come down to Mountune, and different people will like different kits. Whether people want the 375 still be covered by Ford warranty, no issues if you go to a Ford dealer, and that's one of the things to me, I suppose. Or in this case, the full 380, the whole works, you could say. This is going to appeal, I guess, to a slightly different group, one that wants to get the absolute most out of their Focus RS, and in a world where we may not end up having an RS 500, lots of rumours, but it doesn't look like it's coming, then you probably want to make your car stand out even more with this kind of kit. And I'm just loving it on these tight, twisty countryside roads, and that really is where the RS stands out anyway. Even more so now, and even more so with that going on. It's stupidly quick for a car like this. You can just, there can't be many cars that are faster A to B down an actual road than this can handle. Wow, you really can feel the power delivery when you do it like that. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna have to wrap this up, bring it to a close. I'm gonna head back towards my car, but I'm looking forward to learning more as I drive mine. You know, with anything, you get used to where the best sounds come in the rev range, how to get the most out of it, how to drive it, and that only comes from putting some miles on the clock with the setup. So I will be experimenting and discovering that as I go. Unfortunately, the weather has started turning against me a little bit more, raining a bit harder, but I suppose that's why I'm out driving in this car in the first place. My all-wheel drive winter car, winter tyres on it, and now a perfect car made even more perfect with the Mountune kit. So I'm looking forward to getting to know it a little bit more. The more I drive it, the more I'm out and about, putting more miles on it, and hopefully obviously feeding that back to you guys. The next question though is, should I get the exhaust system for it as well? That's what I need to work out and decide myself. But for the meantime, a big thanks to Mountune for having me down, for doing the installation here and being able to show you guys around as well, and also taking out the M380 for a little drive too. So big thanks to them. Thank you as well very much for watching. As always, I really appreciate your support. Give it a thumbs up if you approve of having the Mountune kit installed on my car. But I'm going to leave you there. Thanks again, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.